Yeah, I think we can proceed with our next talk. So our next talk is based on integrate Postman test to CI by Sachin Gupta. So in this session, we will get a walkthrough on how to automate APIs quickly and how to execute API test cases on daily basis in CI pipeline. So I request Sachin to give a brief introduction of himself and proceed with the talk. Handing over to you.
Yeah, can you hear me, Alicia? Okay. Hey, hello everyone. How are you doing? Good afternoon. So about me, I am Sachin Gupta. I am based out Bangalore, and I am having more than nine year of experience. And I'm in thoughtworks class 1.5 year. And I work, different domains, different technology like Selenium WebDriver, API automation, data testing, science dashboard testing, and I also work in Salesforce domain. So that's about me and what I like. I like to explore new tools and technologies, and in my free time, I love to create YouTube content and share my knowledge with the QA community. That's about me. Okay, let me share my screen. So meanwhile, folks, can you share like how many of you have worked in Postman tool? If you were just say yes, otherwise say no, so that I know the audience how many of you are aware about the Postman tool. All right, I can see one yes, only one. Okay, folks, can you respond? It would be good. So meanwhile, I'm sharing my screen. All right. So now I am going to talk about integrate Postman test to CI. And without further delay, let me move forward. So let's see the agenda for today. So in today's session, I'm going to talk about, I'll walk through about the Postman tool, and I'll give the overview about the API with example, and I'll give the live demonstration of the API automation. And I'll also talk about what is environment and the collection variable in Postman. And I'll also talk about like how can we execute Postman collection by a Newman and the Postman CLI. So Postman CLI is something new which came in the market I think 6 months back. And if you're not aware, you will see the demo of the Postman CLI. And Newman, if you're aware, it's fine. Otherwise, you will see the demo of the Newman as well. Okay. And I'll also demonstrate about how to generate the test report. And I'll give you the session like how can we integrate Postman collection in Jenkins with the help of the Newman. And also I'll talk about how to integrate Postman collection in GitHub Action by Postman CLI. If I get more time, then I'll talk about like Jenkins with Postman CLI as well as Newman and similar for GitHub. All right, let me move forward. So prerequisite, you require few software like you require Postman client, you require Node. When you are installing the Node, then npm will install automatically in your system. And you require Newman, it should be installed in the system, and you require Postman CLI, and you need to install Newman reporter HTML extra. So in this PPT, I have attached the link as well, or you can find on the Google. And you need to set up the Jenkins and the GitHub, and you should have JDK in your machine. So that is a prerequisite you should have in your system. Okay, let me move forward to next slide. So now we will see like why to use the Postman. So there are a couple of things in the market, right? So why the Postman? I should go with Postman. So I have jotted down few points. Just go through all. So one, like you are having very less time. You need to design framework, and for the API testing, and you need to give the demo for the client. So you are having very less time. So there is a one use case, and next use case would be like people who doesn't have the much programming experience prior. And next point could be like it is very easy to use, better UI interface, right? Without writing the script, you can explore the API behavior inside the Postman. Okay. Next is like it can help to automate API faster. And the last point, like it can easily integrate with CI tool. So that we will see in this today demo, like how easily we can integrate with different CI tools. Okay. So let me move forward. So now let's see that what's the definition. It's a very common definition. You will find out when you search on the Google. The first definition, it is coming from the Wikipedia. Like an API stands for application programming interface. That is a way for two or more computer program to communicate with each other. So like from one computer sending request and other system will get the response, right? And in the real time, I can give an example. So there is a person A, person B, and both knows the English, right? If one person says, "How are you?" and other one says, "I'm good," right? Something. And suppose you can think like one person knows the Hindi, other knows the English. If both they want to talk, right, they can't, right? Because they are not understanding each other, right? So similar way, like from client, you are sending request to the server, and if it is matching like server, like the server looking for, right, some you need to follow some standard. If it's matching, then it will give a response back. Otherwise, you will not get the response. So this is the definition, and we will see the example like how API communicate in the backend. Okay. So now this is the one web page, the Make My Trip, right? When you're opening Make My Trip web page, okay? I'm taking one example for Make My Trip. So this is for like you can take Make My Trip, you can take Clear Trip, or might be Easy My Trip. Like lots of websites are available now. So when you're filling this information like trip type, one way around from which place you are going to which place, and what is the departing date, and this is for the return date, and how many passengers they are going to travel. So I selected like one, adult, and economy. Okay. When you hit the search button, right, in the backend, right, the API call, it will go to the server. So you can assume this is a Make My Trip server. Okay. And the server which is connected with one database. Okay. So what happened, right? When you hit the search button, right, the API, it invoke, right? It is going to send request to the server, Make My Trip server. So data will go like in the form of like trip type, from, to, depart date, return, passenger. Okay. This data, it will go into the raw form. So raw mean like JSON or the XML form if you are using REST API. And this I have this I have designed like one sample of JSON. So like trip type is a one way from Bangalore to New Delhi, departing date. Okay, this is a return, right? So I'm keeping null because it is only one way only. So this is a passenger, one adult, economy. All right. So this data, it will go to the server. In server, it will based on this data, right? It will find it will find data from the database with the help of the query. Okay. So here the use case is different. What is happening, right? When when API request going to the Make My Trip server, Make My Trip server, which is going to communicate with third party. So the third party for the Make My Trip, like Air Asia, Indigo, Air India. So those airlines, right? They have exposed their API. They are saying you can use our API, and you need to send data like in this form. Okay, and if it is matching, then from those third party from those airline, right? if if airline is available, it will response back to server. From server, it will give the response back to the UI. So UI, right, we will see the data will populate automatically here, right? So how this communication happening? This communication happening with the help of HTTP protocol. Okay. So here we can see like this is called the client server architecture. From client is a browser from where you are sending the request to the server, it is giving the response back, and you are getting data on the UI. So backend, like this is what this API communication will happen in the backend. All right. So this example help you like how API communicate in the backend. So let me move forward. So now we will see the Postman demo, how we can hit the API into the Postman. So without okay. So before opening the Postman, I'll show you like I'm going to give a demo of this Heroku app. So this is one website, the open source. Okay, you can also use. Okay, so like there are a couple of API they have given. So one is a create token. So create token, this is the endpoint. If you hit this endpoint, you are, and this is a username password, the hard coded. Okay, so when you hit this, right, you will get one token ID. So token you can use while deleting the booking. So here you can see like when you delete the booking, right, and you need to purchase token here. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'll create token, then I'll create booking. So booking, right, you can see here like this is the URL as an endpoint, and this is the information for the user which for this user, right, I am going to create the booking. So the first name, last name, total price, deposit, okay, and check-in date, checkout date, addition needs. This is the information. And we are having one more API, update booking. So here we can update the booking. If some information is wrong, right, then we can update this user information based on the booking ID. And this is called the put request. And one more we are having is called the patch. It is called the partial, partial update booking. So where we need to pass, certain parameter of the body. And when we hit this request, it will update, okay, for that respective booking. And this for delete booking. So I think you understood all the API, right? So create token, create booking, update booking, partial update, delete booking. So this is, and we are also having one more API called get booking. So here, if you pass right ID, it will give you the booking, okay, booking information. So now let's see, I am going to open Postman. So let me quickly walk through about the Postman. So top left hand side, you can see there's a collection. This is a API. Here you can keep all the API. This is an environment. You can create multiple environments. This is a mock server. You can create the mock server like third party if you want to mocking anything. And this is called the monitors, where you can add any API request which will execute the whole night, and morning you can set like something, it will fill that 2 times or 3 times, then you should stop, and it will send the report to your respective email ID. And flows, this is similar way like you can create the flow as well. So it is a similar like diagram, right? We should create in our school, right? So like from request A, it should go B, from C something. So this is what you can create flow diagram, and this is a history. All right. And if you come here like top right hand side is the settings, and here you'll get lots of settings like journal, themes. So here themes you can change light theme or dark theme. Okay. And we are the shortcuts, data add-ons, this proxy you can set. All right, this update. Fine. Now click on collection. When you click on collection, you need to create this plus icon. When you create right, it will create one collection. So you can give any name. So here you can see this is created. Okay. So I'm going to delete because I already created one collection. All right. So this is a collection where I have added already all the requests. Okay. So first get token. So get token. So first time when you open right Postman, you will see like no environment. So first try to understand what is the environment. Okay. So as I talk about, right? So this is a common URL for all the requests. So what I'm going to do, right? I am going to hold this URL as a variable. So I am going to create one variable here like environment. You can create global or the environment. So if you create here like add, just you click add, you need to give any name. So I can say live demo something. Okay, just I'm giving. Okay, so here you can set this value here. Okay, so additional this variable initial value and current value. Okay, so let's try to understand what is what is that. This is not the good name. I'll give environment like pre-prod. This would be make sense. So you are having one environment called a pre-prod. Okay, so pre-prod, I am saying I want to set URL, and this is the URL, and I'm quickly writing something. I'll say pre. I'm changing. Okay, and fine. So now here you can see like you can change like a secret or default. So this make it default. So here you are seeing the two things. One is the initial value and the current value. So what does it mean? So initial value and current value. Okay. So to explain this, right, just try to understand. You need to log in first into the Postman. If you're not logged in right, then you'll not get this option called create the workspace. Okay. So when you create the workspace, right, I create one workspace called the chaining request. Okay. So when you logged in, right, so what Postman do, it will sync whatever working you are doing in the Postman client, it will sync to the Postman server. So what does it mean? Initial value. So when it sync, right, so initial value, it will sync to the server. If you are keeping anything, it will be synced. And current value, it is for your local. It is not going to sync. So what does it mean? It means, right, if you are having any sensitive information like access token, password, the best practice you need to keep in current value. Don't keep here. All right. So that is the difference between initial and current value. All right. And here you can see now, here you can pre-prod you getting. So I'm going to select dev. So if I select dev environment, I'm going to close this, save changes, and in dev, right, you can see this actual URL that I have passed here. All right. I'm selecting no and okay. First select dev environment. And here you can see like I'm getting the URL now from here. This I'm going to access. Okay. Now, if I don't select anything, like no environment, then it will throw the error because it is not able to get any value. So comes to the global. So global, right? If you add anything, right? Global, I'm quickly adding URL. I am adding something raw data so that you can understand. Save type. Now, I haven't selected any environment, but you will see the value from the global. So that is a difference, right? If you're not, creating any environment, you will get data from global. Okay, I'll delete, otherwise it will confuse because it's a duplicate, right? Environment and the global. So I am going to select dev. Okay, and now I can see the URL. Okay, fine. Now I am going to select collection. So this first folder, right, vodQA, you are seeing this called the collection. Okay, when I click here, right, you can see some certain information like authentication, pre-request, test, variable, and run. So variable, right? If you see here, right, I create a couple of variables here. What does it mean? This is called a collection variable. So we're having three things. One, embed variable, global variable, and it's called a collection variable. So for collection variable, scope would be within this collection. If I'm creating one more collection, right, the scope won't be there. So where this will work for across all the collections, embed variable and the global variable. Okay. So now here you can see here I'm going to use, and everything is blank as of now. I haven't set any value, just the variable name. Okay, I am going to close. So get token. Now this is the URL I'm getting. This is the authentication. Okay, now in the body I am going to pass username, password. Okay, so now I am going to hit this request. I am getting this token. Okay, so this is the response I'm getting. So what I'll do, pre-request script. What does it mean? First, try to understand this. Pre-request script mean like if you're writing something in this write, it will execute first before hitting this request. When you hit write, then first priority would be this pre-request, and it will hit this request. Okay. Next action is called the test. So here you can write the test cases, automation test cases. In Postman, there is a one default variable called the PM. You can start with the pm.response.json, and from here you can capture whole response. Okay, what response you are getting, and I'm going to store inside res variable, and this is a JavaScript, right? The syntax. And if I want to print this token, right, how I can print res.token. Okay, this is how I can print. And if you want to see like this console.log, it will help you to print in your console. So here, bottom right is you can see the console. If I open, right, and here when I execute, right, you can see it has printed response. This is here. Okay, so this is how you can take the help of the console log if you want to debug something like are you getting correct information or you are not getting correct things. I am going to close this. Now coming to the next things, I want to store this token because I want to use in while delete booking, right? So this is one request, delete booking. So where I need to pass this token ID. So for that, I want to store in collection variable. So there's a syntax, right? This is how you can store. So, but I can't remember those things. Like there's are too many syntax, right? I'm thinking like Postman is very easy to write the test cases, right? So the Postman, it is providing the snippets, right? If you see, okay, if you see here, right, snippets, right? So I want to set a collection variable. Just click here and make sure cursor should be on an empty place. Okay, here. And if I click here, okay, so here you can see that I am getting the syntax like pm.collection variable, set variable key and variable value. So this is how I can set. Okay, and I'm going to delete because I'm having already the same code here. Did I delete? No. Okay, fine. So here you can see that I am seeing like token. So token is a one variable here. Quickly, I'll show you the token, and you can see the value has set it here already. When I execute, right, it will fetch the value from here, res.token, and it will set inside the collection variable. And now comes to the test case. Okay, so first test case, I want to add like I'm getting 200 status code, right? So just go snippets and select this status code 200. test case is ready, 200. Fine. It's the same test cases. So one I'm going to delete. Let's add one more test cases, and which will talks about response time is less than 200 milliseconds. Okay. So it means, right, if the request, if it is taking less than 200 milliseconds, then it will pass, otherwise it will fail. Okay, so I'm having two test cases. I'm going to click on save. Let me execute one more time and let's see. So here you can see like test result, right? So one test case passed, one is failed. So status code, it has passed, and another one, it has failed because response time, it took 996, and I was expecting it should be less than 200, like 199 or less than something. Okay, that is the reason it is failed. So this is how we can write the test cases. Let me move to next one, create booking. So create booking, this is a URL and the endpoint called booking, and body, right? So body, this is a body. This, if you pass right, then booking will create. So for the like first name, last name, total price, deposit paid, check-in, check-out. And this data, I'm not hard coding. What I'm saying, I want to read from collection variable. To collection variable, if I go here, you can see it is blank, right? I don't have anything, right? Then how it will create? So for that, what I'm doing, right, in the pre-request script, right? In pre-request script, sorry, create booking. In the pre-request script, you can see here I'm going to set the variable like first name, I'm giving my name, and last name Gupta. And for additional needs, I am saying I want breakfast and some random integer number. So random integer is a faker library. They're like Postman, which is integrated internally. So just you need to use like random int. It will give you any number from 1 to 1000. And there are more than 50. You can Google, you will find out those variables. So for check-in date, I'm giving one date. For checkout, I'm passing one date. So when I execute this, right, so first, right, it will all value will be set inside this collection variable, and when set right, then it will read by the body and it will hit the request. Okay, let's see. I am hit and test case pass. If I quickly show you, you can see every all values are set it here in collection variable. From here, while inside body, right, the data has been read from the collection variable, and the response, right, I got it like booking ID, I got it first name, last name. It is giving response back as well, right? Same data along with the booking ID. And breakfast 958. I told you, right? This random integer number. All right. Now quickly comes to the test part. So test part, response.json. This I already explained, right? So and if I want to read this booking ID, okay. So how can I read? res.booking ID. And if I want to read this check-in, this one, so how can I read? So res dot booking and booking dates, then check-in. So here, okay, I am printing on console. Okay, let's see in the console. Here you can see it. Okay, this one and next one. Okay, so next I am going to focus on two more functions. How you can read the value. So one is a collection variable. This is one function like so pm.collection variable dot get and check-in. So it will give you the value from the collection variable. And one we are having one more function is called the variable. And from variable also I can read. So what is the difference? Collection variable, it can read the value from the collections, right? Collection variable. And this variable function, it can read from collection variable as well from environment variable. Okay, and here you can see I'm getting the same response. And for the end, okay, and let's see for the environment. For environment, I can read from pn.environment.get URL, and variable function also it is helping the same thing. Okay, now coming to the next part is called the test. So in test, right, first I have written like if status code is matching for 200, then one test case will pass. And the one I'm saying like I want to verify. Okay, let me close this console. So first name, right? So similar for this name I am having in collection variable as well. And this I want to verify. I'm going to verify this response. So what I'm doing, I'm saying like this is what I'm reading from from the response, and this I am reading from collection variable. If both are matching, then test case will pass. And this syntax, you can, few things you can find out here. And if you want to write, you can write your custom syntax as well. This is called the chai assertion. You can, Google out, you can find out chai assertion, and you can write the same syntax here. So I'm saying like pm.expect, if both are matching, response and the collection value, then test case will pass. So verify first name, verify last name, similar for the check-in date, okay, similar for checkout date. This is for the additional needs. If that data is matching, then test case will pass. And if you see here, right, all 6 test cases pass because everything is matching. Okay, so this is how we can write the test cases in Postman. Now let me move to next one, get booking. So here, this is one more API request. Here I am passing. I'm going to read booking ID that I have stored from here. Okay, inside the collection variable. And if I hit next request, and I'll might be this token. It is those are public API, right? So sometime if the load is more, right, you will see those type errors, and you need to execute one more time. Okay, so I'm going to execute one more time and get booking. Let me hit. Okay, so I'm getting the response. So the structure would be some different, and the test case I'm adding the same things, right? And like here you can see like status code, first name, last name. This notes some data is, you can see the less data here, right? And see, earlier the name was coming inside the booking node, and in get booking, right, it's coming directly. So just you need to incorporate something inside the test cases. Okay, so here you can see like directly like R is the first name. So similar for all the test cases like last name, check-in date, checkout date, additional leads. So here you can see like all 6 test cases pass. Okay, here as well. Next is called like update booking. So update booking, right, what I'm going to do, right, in the body is same, right? I'm not changing anything. So in prerequisite script, what I'm saying, right, earlier it was only breakfast. Okay, now I'm saying I want breakfast as well as a dinner, and I'm adding some random integer number. This is how we can add. And let me hit this request. Here you can see here it has updated. Addition needs, I'm getting breakfast and dinner 760 something random number I have added. Okay, and if you go to test, so this time the latest value will be verified here. Okay, it is matching, and all 6 test cases pass. Okay, let's move to next one. It is called the patch request. Earlier there was a put patch because I'm going to update very partial things. So where if you see the body, right, I'm going to update my only last name. So if you see pre-request, right, I'm going to append some random integer so that I want to see the behavior like are like the system is capable to update the value or not. So let me hit this request, and here you can see here in this use case it is appended one number at at the end of my surname. So Sachin Gupta 313, and everything is same. Okay, and all test cases, same test cases 6, and all test cases pass here. And now let me move to get booking. So this is the same things, right, that I hit this third time. So get booking, right, when I hit right. So here I am seeing like I want to verify, am I getting latest information or not? So I'm getting latest data, and the test case, all 6 test cases pass. Next is called the delete booking. So where if you go to header, so here I'm passing the token. When I hit right, so that respective booking ID, okay, it is going to delete. Yeah, so I'm getting this time 201. In test case, I'm going to verify this 201 is coming, then test case will pass. So one test case, it has passed. Okay. If I hit right, since it has deleted right, it will throw the error this time. Yeah, 405. Okay. So again, I'm going to hit the request like get booking. So since booking has deleted it, it will throw the error. Yeah, I'm getting 404. Similar, I'm verifying here. So one test case has passed. All right, that's what I want to cover in Postman here. So I'm going to close all first, close all tabs. So here you can see like get token, right? So this is called a chaining request. So get token I'm going to use and delete. I can't delete right before creating the booking. So this is a chaining, right? One request, second request, third request. So first request that I am using the response and the request. So if I want to run right, I can execute here as well. So click on third dot, run collection, and iteration I want to run only one time. Okay, just click on run Heroku. Here you can see here. how quickly, right? All 33 test cases pass. So this is how we can execute Postman collection. So now let's the demo how we can execute those collection from the Postman from the terminal or the CLI in Windows. Okay. So for that, right, you need to export this collection. So just click on this three dots and go scroll it down, export, click on export, and here you can export in some folder. It will create JSON file. And similar, I am going to use environment variable, click on edit, and just first three dots, click here and click on export. So I require both things, right? I require collection as well as environment. All right. So till here, everything is clear if I'm not wrong. If you're having any question, you can add. I'll give the answer. Okay. At the end of the session. So now I'm going to move here. So now I'm going to move again, this slide. Okay. So slide, we have seen the demo of the Postman, right? How Postman we can, create the request and how we can write the test cases. Now let's see the next things. So something new in the Postman is called Postman CLI and Newman. So what is the difference between both? So quickly, I'll go through all the points. So both created by Postman. Postman CLI, it is maintained and supported by the Postman, and Newman, it is the open source. It is supported by the community. And when you execute from Postman CLI, automatically it sends collection run result to the Postman server by default. And Newman, it won't send, right? It is ingesting through one HTML report, right? It will log how many tasks you're executing inside the HTML report. And Postman CLI, it is signed by the Postman, and Newman, it is not signed by Postman. So like it is more secure Postman CLI. And Postman CLI, it will support for sign in and sign out. If you're not signing, you can't execute. And there is no security in Newman. And Postman account is mandatory in Postman CLI. If you don't want to create, then Newman is good. Without creating the account, you can execute test cases in Newman. All right. Now I am going to give you the demo of the Newman Postman CLI in Jenkins and GitHub. All right. Fine. So what I did, I created, I have noted, I have, write down some point. Otherwise, there are lots of things, right? Lots of settings so that I should not miss anything. And let me open the terminal. So terminal, I have opened, three tabs. So here you can see quickly, I'm going to check my version, node, npm, Newman reporter, and Postman. So this is called the Postman CLI. So here I have installed. All right. So now quickly go through first one. So this is how now so what I did, right? I am on the same location where I have exported my collection and the environment. So this is the command first one, Newman run collection name. Okay, so let's quickly write Newman, and you can see here Newman run and collection name. So mine is a Heroku app. Okay, it is coming. Now if I hit right, I'll get the error because this URL, right, it isn't inside the environment. So I need to pass the environment as well. And it's in clear. So this and -e, the syntax, and environment dev. This is the environment I have exported. Now if I hit right, so test case start passing. Here you can see here. All 33 test case pass, 1 iteration, 8 requests, 16 test script, and 11 re-request script. Okay, so this data, first I'll clear. So this data I might lose, right? And then how to store inside the report. So for that, what I'll do, this, okay, same command. I need to add -r. I'll add the CLI. I'll tell you why CLI. CLI is for the log. So earlier you were seeing the logs, right? How many discuss pass, how many fail. If you don't add CLI, you'll not get logs here. Okay. And HTML, extra. Okay. So this is the command. When I hit right, what happened, right? Let me open the folder. Okay. It will create one folder Newman automatically. So it is there. Let it be there. You can see it's blank. No report is there, right? I'm on the same location. Now let me hit. Now here you can see test cases are executing very fast, right? All test cases pass, and you can see report is generated here. Let me quickly open the report. And this report, this is called the HTML extra report. And here you can, select light or dark, and it is divided into 4 sections. First one is called the summary. So summary page, like one iteration, like one time it executed, total 33 assertion. And this is the high level information, the same information, 8 requests, 11 prerequest script, test script, okay? And this is called total request, this one. So here you can, if I click on arrow right, it will capture all the information. This report is very good. And here you can see this is the endpoint I passed, and this is the response information. I get 200. It took 135 millisecond, and this is a size 27 byte. And this is a request header. This is a request body that I've sent, right? And this is the response header I received, and this is the response body, and one test case here. Okay, it has passed. Similar way for the create booking. Quickly, I'll open. So it was a request body, and it was the response header, and this is the response body I'm getting, like along with the booking ID here. Okay, and this is 6 test cases. All information you can see here. If something is failed, it will be documented here in the report. Okay, so all steps has included in this report. Fail, there is no failed test cases, there is no skip test cases. All right, so that's about the reporting, how to generate the reporting. Now let's quickly move on to next one. Okay, so this is done, right? Postman collection by a CLI. Now we will see how to execute the same things by Postman CLI. Okay, so for that you need to, this is a Mac, right? So I installed, this is how you can install. You can, Google, or in the slide, you will get the link from where. So this is a command, like this is a one-time activity, right? This is like a, install one software. So when I install, right, the Postman CLI it has installed, and I'm getting here like this one as well. Okay. So now I'm opening. Okay. So I'm in the center tab. And here you can see here some commands. Okay, Postman -b, it will be the version that we have seen, and it's called the Postman login. So when I execute, okay, so before login, right, you can see this URL, right, API key. This is important here. So this is the URL. Okay. So when you log in Postman, right, this is mandate, like login is mandatory in this process. So web.postman.co, and second settings, okay, forward slash ME API key. In this URL, you need to generate some keys. So if I click generate key, right, I'll say demo something. Okay, demo, click on, it has created one key. I'm going to copy this key. Make sure you need to note down, when you refresh that, it will go on. The key will be masked. Okay, few part you can't see. You need to regenerate the key. Okay, so just I'm copying this key. Now the command says like Postman login. So if I don't log in, right, the further command, it won't work. So that is security here, right? So Postman, this command is going to work because of I have installed the Postman CLI, Postman login. When I hit right, it will ask me the key. So key I have copied. I am going to pass. Okay, here you can see logged in successfully. Now the command, what is the command? So first command, it says like Postman login. Okay, this is done. Okay, this part, okay, I have covered by login. So now next command is called Postman collection run and collection ID. So what is collection ID? So quickly see. So I'm on Postman client. So Postman client, right? If you click these 3 dots, okay, one way, like you can click on edit. When you click on edit, you will see this Postman collection ID. You can copy from here. And I need environment ID as well. So click on edit, click on, okay, click on this I icon here, and this is called the environment ID. So both ID you need to capture, collection ID and the environment ID. And I have, so this is a command. So if you don't have the environment, then you can directly run like Postman collection run and collection ID. If you're having both things, like, then you need to pass -e and environment ID. So this is the same things, right? Okay, I am going to paste here. So just and the Postman collection run. First is the collection ID. Next is called environment ID. Okay, so before hitting right, what happened, right? Let me show you. So I am on, this is called the web client. It's a similar things, right? You can see on the browser as well. So browser, I'm getting the same thing because it is going to sync. So when I select here, I'll see the run. So last run, you can see like 1717. Okay, this is the time. Okay. Now when I hit right, one new report will create here automatically on the Postman server. So this is a benefit here. When I hit right, Yep, test case started. Okay. So how many test cases? One test case failing because we know, right? I have created one test case like 200 millisecond time. So here, if you see, right, here you can see like right now it's created one. Okay. And if you go in right here, also you're getting this link. So the two things, right? I'm just copying. And if I hover the mouse, if I create here this bar, I'll see the report here. And similar, I'm going to open. Okay, here is. Yeah, here you can see like 33 test case passed, one failed, white failed. You can see here assertion. Okay, because of this one test case, right? Because of response time is not less than 200 millisecond, and the report is ready. All test case. All right, so that is a difference in Postman CLI and the Newman. In Newman, report will generate in a local. Okay, you can generate a server as well. Not this Postman server, but here this Postman CLI, it is directly communicating with the Postman server, and your report will be generated automatically. All right, I'm going to close this. Let's move on. Yeah, so this is covered, and I can log out as well. So what if I log out? You can see Postman log out. Yes, enter. If I execute this command right, it will give the error now. See, no authorization data found. Login is needed. Fine, let's move on. So next part, I'm going to talk about the Jenkins. So Jenkins, I'll go to dashboard. Yeah. So first, when you're installing Jenkins, right, it will ask you to install, some plugins. So first, you need to install all the plugins. Okay. Apart from that, you need to install two more plugins called HTML Publisher and Node.js plugin. So this is the Postman. If you go manage Jenkins, go to plugin manager and install. I have installed right HTML. So one HTML publisher plugin. This you need to install, and other one's called the Node.js plugin. Two things you need to install. So you will find out in available tab this one. So just select and click on here install without restart. Okay, I'm going back. And next point is saying like create freestyle project. So I have created both like freestyle project. You can see it like freestyle and the pipeline. So I'm having both. Okay, just give the name, it will create. Just choose here. Okay. And next one talks about you need to go manage Jenkins global to configuration, and you need to add the two commands. Like I want to install Newman as well and reporter as well. So what you need to click on manage Jenkins, go to global tool configuration. Since I have installed node package, right? So I'm getting this node.js. So I'm having two setup. First one you can ignore. So you need to create like this way. So node.js, and here you need to mention the version, which version you are looking for. And I want to install Newman as well as the Newman reported HTML extra. I want this as well, two packages. Okay. And just click save. And I'm going back. What is next? Okay. So next is it is talking about Newman integration GitHub. This one. Okay. So this is a project. When I click on configure, okay, when you scroll it little bit, you will see one option called provide node. Just you need to check it in, and you need to select this node.js. Okay, the name of the node. Okay, and apart from this is fine. Fine. Now let's see. Okay, so before this, right, what I'm doing. So this is my GitHub. So from GitHub, right, I kept like both things like collection as well as the environment variable. So what I'm saying, right, I want to fetch uh, both collection and the environment from GitHub. So for that, I have integrated with GitHub. Just select the GitHub, and I'm not going to talk about much about this for GitHub part. Okay, so I am going to add this repository link, and here I have add my access token. And okay, when I execute, right, it will download. It will fetch both the files from the GitHub. Okay, so that I'm not going to hardcode. If I'm updating anything, right, it will fetch latest one. And this branch is called man. And if you see like script part, so there's a same script, right, which I executed Newman from my terminal, and you will see like something extra as well. So what is that? It is I'm adding because I want to fetch report. I want to export report inside this Jenkins. I don't want to go that directly where it is generating the same report. It should be fetched inside the Jenkins. So this is a lines of code like reporters and reporter HTML extra export, and this is the name of the report. And if you scroll down, I am creating like post build action. What happened right after complete the build, right? I am saying you need to publish. I need to publish this report, right? So this is a location. Okay, this location report will generate, and from where I'll get this location that I'll explain you. Okay, and this is a report name. I need to pass here index page, this name, and this name is same. Okay, and HTML report. Okay, now let's see like how to find out this directory where is Jenkins. So let's quickly go to manage Jenkins. Manage Jenkins, just click on configure system, and here you can get, so inside one folder called workspace, inside it all the project it will be created inside the workspace. Okay, now go to, okay, so I have covered this, right? Everything's right, script is ready. Now just I need to hit execution. Okay, I am click on build now, so it will start 12 is a console. You can see here it has fetched all data from GitHub. It has started very quickly. Okay, it won't fetch because it was already there, right? First time, if it was not there, then it will fetch the file. Here you can see all test cases passed, all 33. And if you go back, it's called the report, right? I'm going to publish inside Jenkins. If I open, you can see the same report here inside the Jenkins. All right. Okay, so I'm having time. I can cover other part as well. Okay, so now let's see something new. It is called, Postman CLI. Okay, so Postman CLI, what you need to do. So it's a Postman web, right? Web client. And when I select this, right, the collection, I'll see the option called run. Okay, and I'll get option here, the stop run collection. When I click here, right, I'll get the option called this automate run by a CLI. Okay, I'll also get down option called configure command. When I click here, and this Postman, it will write a script for you. Okay, so what I'm saying, I want to execute this this collection. And am I having environment? Yes, I'm having environment called dev environment. Okay, and where are you going to configure? I'm saying I'm going to configure Jenkins machine, and I'm going to use my Mac machine. Okay, this is the OS, and script is ready. So there's some difference, right? Okay, here you can see like, so this is a pipeline. You need to mention where is your node. Okay, and stage one, it is saying you need to install like Postman CLI, right? Because we are going to install by a Postman CLI. So first it will install the Postman CLI, and then it will log in. You need to pass the Postman API key. The same thing, right? Same step, and then it will execute Postman collection run, and it has fetched automatically, right? This collection ID as well as the environment ID. Okay, so you can copy, and you can create new project called like new item and pipeline one, this one. Okay, so what I'm saying, I'm going to open this and quickly go to configure. When I go to configure, and here you can see here, so I have removed one stage, right? I'm saying like I want to use my Postman, okay, which is already installed. So this is how I have configured, like in my machine I have one Postman installed, right? I am giving that location, and I have given this node in the tool. What is a node? Okay, Postman login, and here Postman API key I have I have stored in the variable here, right? If you see here, if you go here, credential, right? So credential I have keep here my Postman API key, and similar I'm going to fetch here. So this is how I'm going to fetch here Postman token, and by a dollar I'm going to read this value of the Postman API key, and this is a command for the login, and this is a command for the running the collection. When I hit right, Postman CLI build now, it has started, console output, and okay, let it open. Okay, we will get the link, right? Yeah, execution completed, and I'm getting this link. I'm going to open this, and report as generated in Postman server, and one task is failing. We know, right? Intentionally, we made this task is fail, and this is how we can configure Postman CLI in Jenkins, and report is ready. Fine. Okay, so both things I have covered in Jenkins, Postman CLI, as well as the Newman. Now let me move forward to next part. Okay, fine. So first, I can quickly cover this Newman integration. Okay, what is open here? Okay, so Newman integration we can see first in so GitHub, right? I have kept my collection as well as the environment. So now what I'm saying, I want to execute inside GitHub with the help of the GitHub Actions. So if you click on Actions, you will see new workflow first time. Okay, after that you will also see, right? So here you can see like configure, simple workflow configure. When you click it configure, it will create by default YAML file for you. Okay. So what is I don't want to use this one. So I have written mine. So let me see what I have written. Go to workflow, go to YAML file. So first I have given the name. Okay, automate API test using Newman CLI, and this is a cron job. So I have changed the timing. Okay, it is not going to on daily. You can change the time. It should execute on daily, like morning 6 o'clock, so that you can set the time with the help of this cron job. And workflow dispatch, it will help you to execute build manually. Otherwise, you can't. Okay, and next job you can see like I want one Ubuntu machine. Okay, and create directly and make directly the test artifact. And here one step I'm saying like install node. So this is how I'm going to install node. I'm defining the version as well because I require node in order to execute the Newman. And here I'm installing the Newman, and this is where I'm installing HTML extra report. And next step, it is I'm going to execute this one command. Okay, so Newman run, and this is a collection name, and this is the environment name. I have one hyphen or CLI HTML extra, and this is where I'm going to export the report. And if you see down, it is for capturing the result. Okay, in the last. Okay, so what? Let's see. Go to action. I am selecting this. Okay, since I'm using the free version, right? When I hit right, sometime the machine will take time. Sometime it will not get the machine. Let's see how quickly the machine I'll get. Otherwise, sometime it will cross 20 minutes or 30. Say machine came very quickly because load is less. Let me quickly refresh. Then you will see the logs. Okay, so here you can see it is executing. So those are the stages. Okay, it is installing Newman in that machine. All right, things are installed. Then task is started to execute. Here you can see it's very quickly, right? Yep, test cases pass. Fine, it was very quickly, right? All right, and if I say here actions, this was the report, right? And here report is generated. If you click here, right, report will now in your local system. You can configure some other way as well. Okay, so report is ready. When you open, the same report will open. All right, so this is how you can integrate Newman in GitHub. And last things I'm going to quickly show you about Postman CLI in GitHub Action. So what I did, right, if you go here, so last time, right, how to generate the command we have seen, right? So now if I'm going to change to GitHub Actions, when I change GitHub Actions, make machine, and this script has generated here. Okay, the same script I can use here and here the same way, right? Because I'm not keeping any file because the file will be fetched from the Postman server. Click on Actions, and the same way, right? Click on new workflow, and it will create one YAML file. In YAML file, you can paste the same code. So here you can see. So what I'm saying, like on push and workflow. So when I'm changing anything, right, then that time it will, automatically execute this workflow. And when I hit the manually, it will execute. And I want one Ubuntu machine. And I'm going to install first Postman CLI in this machine. So this is how I'm going to install the Postman CLI and Postman login with API key. So I'm saying like for the login, right, I require one API key, right? For API, I have stored here. Go to settings, go to secrets, go to actions. So I kept here. Okay. Okay, so from where it will get the Postman API key, and this is where I am going to execute. All right, it's very easy, right? So go to Postman CLI, click on actions, select this one, and hit here, run workflow. Yep, machine will be, yeah, machine is very fast today. We are lucky to see. Otherwise, sometime one day I was testing, right? It took 25 minutes to get that machine. I thought I have written something wrong, but those are the free versions, right? So when like load, when the GitHub has more load, right? That time machine will be assigned about 30 minutes or sometime 1 hour. Okay, it was very quick, right? Here the report is ready. Where is that? Run, and here. All right, you can see report here. So those reports, right, you can see the centralized, right? So click on collection, okay, and all report is coming here. And here you can see like Postman CLI, it is coming build 10. See, it would be build 10. If I go back and
Sorry to interrupt. Quick time check, Sachin.
yeah, I had one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So here you can see like these are okay. And all information it is captured like Postman CLI, it is running by runner. Okay. So this logs is there and report you can access from here. Yeah, so this is how we can integrate, Postman with CI tool. It is very, quite easy. What initially when you're doing, right, you might get, a couple of errors. Like I can show you one, I can quickly show you one like this, right? So like you won't see the report properly. So you need to execute some script. So for that, okay, you can connect with me, or I can share you one, YouTube playlist where I have, note down all the problems, and you will get the solution in that playlist. I'll pin that playlist in the chat. All right, that's what I want to cover. Yeah, thank you everyone. Now we can go to the questions. Okay, so about me, yep, most next slide about me. Okay, you can connect with me on LinkedIn and YouTube or maybe GitHub or Twitter as well. And everywhere the name is common, Sachin Gupta IT, you can find me anywhere. All right, now I am ready to take the questions.
Yeah, we have 2 questions posted in.
Okay, so what I'm saying, I'll quickly check the questions as well. Yeah, so first question is Postman flow is very new feature. Yeah, it is very new. That's why even I try to cover in the CI tool. Okay, what are you talking about? Postman flow. Wait. Are you talking about, yeah, okay. Are you talking about the flows? Yeah, so flows is something new. So where you can, create diagram, right? Like circuit, right? If and else condition, right? If condition A pass, it will go condition B and condition D. So this is something new you can explore. You can go through Postman YouTube channel, and there they have explained very good way. What is the next question? Okay, answer live. What is the next one? What happen if you run the test again just now? And I didn't get the question. What do you mean? Can you, when you,
Hello.
what happen if you?
Hi.
Yeah.
So this question was asked earlier while you were demonstrating. So when you ran a test, So this is not a question about Postman or the tool.
Mhm.
I'm just curious because if you said update something and you ran a test for it, right?
Okay. So
If you run it again,
it
what happens? Or delete. So you deleted or you deleted your booking. So
okay.
it gives a response saying successfully deleted or something like that. And
Yeah.
after that, if you run it again, so what happens? Because if you try to delete twice, the second time it should give some other message, right?
Yeah. It was something different, right? I saw you, right? For
Okay.
first time I got what was that? 201. Okay. Next time it was 405. I'm quickly checking my system. Okay.
Okay.
So okay, I can quickly share my screen so that you can. I think it will give you. So booking is there, right?
Okay.
So booking I created, okay, and
Okay.
booking ID is there.
Okay.
If I delete, right, so this is a booking ID,
Yeah.
3895. So
Okay.
first time I hit, right, because booking ID is there, so I'll get 201. Okay. Now since it is not existing the DB now,
Correct.
3895. So
Yeah.
if I hit right, it will throw the error like 405 because it is not able to find.
Yes. So actually, the question is, this is the correct behavior of the software. So the test has to be written so that when you run it a second time, this test should now pass. I mean, it should show up as pass. Did you
Yeah.
understand what I meant? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's up
Okay.
to you, right? How this is the open source API, right? This for demonstration purpose, right? You can
Right.
cover multiple scenarios, like second time, am I getting this or not? Okay. So it's up to you, like how are you automating the API?
Oh,
You
okay,
can
okay. So
handle,
the
you can cover,
second
right?
time, okay, okay. All
It's up
right.
to you, right? So
Then you will
high
say
level,
PM. So
yeah,
sorry.
continue,
So you
continue.
will say PM dot response to have, and then status you will say 50. I mean 405
Yeah, correct.
when you run it the second time. Okay.
Yeah,
Understood. Understood.
fine.
Sorry,
It
I'm a
helps you,
bit
right?
rusty on this.
Yeah,
Okay.
no
Yeah.
problem. I
Yes.
am
Yes.
here to
Thanks.
help you. You
Thanks.
can connect me offline as well on LinkedIn if you
Oh,
want
thanks.
more
Thanks.
information. Yeah,
No, 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 no. I
really.
mean, it's out of curiosity. Thanks. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Any other question? Okay, I can wait few.
Thank you, Sachin. It
Yep.
was really very informative session. I'll just post the feedback form link. I request attendees to please fill the form. We'll pause here for 2 minutes and then we can uh, end the session. It would be great if few of us can come on videos so that we can take a snap.